your move, Unreal.
Alright, here we go.
Seriously, you're expecting the right poses at the same time?
Yeah, just make it happen, alright?
Yeah!
Alright guys, come on, 60 seconds. Hey Tony, reel or quick? Say Canadian maple. Whatever, man. What? Alright guys, let's get him buried. 30 seconds. Alright, he's down. Let's go, more dirt. More dirt. All right, gravestone. Ready. Handle. Bring him down.
Where he came from, no one knew. Though I once heard tell he was kicked out of Castellon, Texas for teaching a mule to play poker, breaking one of the few laws in that frontier town at the time. His goal was to get revenge on his old posse who had packed him with lead and left him with a permanent address under 3 feet of Texas clay. Then get dangerously drunk on Applejack whiskey. He was a one-man judge, jury, and executioner on the bloody vengeance trail. He was the Gunstringer. Taking a bead at the cans, Gunstringer tested his aim after the nuisances arising from the dead. Years ago, his old posse had shot him in the back and given him a one-way ticket to Boot Hill. They were the usual gang of samurai cowboys, voodoo priestesses, cutthroat wildcatters, purveyors of iniquities better left unmentioned, like dressing a horse in women's pantaloons, and Wavy Tube Man. Something told him they would not be hard to find. The image of that air-filled betrayer still fresh on his mind, the Gunstringer set out to mark his first target off the list. A lifetime of fierce, fistic encounters had left him light on his feet. The Gunstringer was drawn from long days and nights in the saddle. 10 pounds of rawhide and muscle. It was greed that turned his posse against him. Like vultures, they turned on him without a second thought. Twin sheets of flame stabbed out from his hands whenever his guns cleared leather. A gift from the underworld, El Taco Diablo, the Deathbringer. Each bite brought a clarity of focus, a will resolute. Those who tasted of it would be forever changed. Wavy tube men are a predictable bunch. When they drink through their pay, they find work at saloons, dance halls, and gynecologists' offices. Flailing their arms outside with an air of jollity, even the most trail-hardened cowpuncher finds hard to resist. Sensing the Gunstringer's quandary, the wavy tube man doubled his efforts, knowing that if he could take the edge off his opponent's bloodlust, the fight would be his. As the wavy tube man received his everlasting, the Gunstringer felt the hand of fate upon him. He knew that from time to time, whenever the trail got too rough, he could call upon the hand to send his enemies to join the heavenly choir. But at what price, he wondered. The train tracks cut through the high plains like a scar on an otherwise perfect porcelain beauty. Its iron horse, with its oil baron's brand, a symbol of the boundless wealth gushing from underneath the earth. The Gunstringer vowed to fill the old pioneer cemetery, two to a grave if necessary, until he got his man. The Gunstringer became a frenzy of death. None would stand in the path of his vengeance. Like a hate-filled tornado, the Gunstringer swept through the desert, sparking the end of the line for any man or beast unfortunate enough to wander in his path. They flew in packs, but died alone. He needed to leave cover to make his mark. Peeking out would give him a line at the gutless cowards.
We're gonna kill you again! Frax them!
What was this? What was it? A mirage? A hoax? Natives spiking the water wells with peyote? He could not venture to guess. The underworld was well pleased with the wrath of the Gunstringer. They offered him a gift of sustenance and vigor. TNT wrangling was a dangerous business filled with catastrophic injury. You could count the unblemished practitioners among their kind on the nubs of one hand. His enemy was safely ensconced on the other side of the cover. Ever get that feeling there's a joker in the deal somewhere? Careful now. Even the most cowardly of creatures will spoil for a fight if you mess with its den. The Gunstringer knew a ruckus at the Baron's oil wells would flush that traitor from his hiding. Gunstringer watched news of his return spread on panicked horseback. Good. Let that Baron know he'd soon get what was coming. There are times when the cold report of a pistol doesn't get personal enough. The Gunstringer flexed his leather-clad hands and relished the meaty impact of a hard-swung punch. Where he walked, death walked with him. Mortals were terrified of the Devil's Taco. The Gunstringer embraced the Peligroso power. The man's face would end up as pitted and scarred as the desert around him. Where he walked, death walked with him. Where one streak ended, another would surely begin. paint this town with lead. Let's get it, boys. Dozen shots lit up the air. The oil baron's influence infected the landscape, feeding on the land like a bloated tick. Getting to the baron would mean disposing of his cronies and hangers-on, starting with the corrupt sheriff. Cinco plus 1 is 6. He was 6 for 6. Through no will of his own, the Gunstringer found himself inside the bank, as if some fatal leaven were at work around him, moved by some unseen hand. His enemy's defensive position afforded him protection from the Gunstringer's 6 guns. Try as he might, he could not fire upon his enemy from his present vantage point. The Gunstringer couldn't shoot until he peeked out of cover. Gunstringer would have to lean out to get a clear shot at his enemy. The Gunstringer learned long ago that just because someone wears a ball-pointed star on their chest, don't put them on the right side of the law. The sheriff was dirty with the oil baron's money, and nothing would save him now. He had 6 targets in his sights. Not one would escape his aim. Gunstringer came down, but felt nothing but air beneath him. A spray of bullets hit all 6 of their intended targets. He'd have to lean out to bushwhack them properly. He couldn't aim while still huddled in cover. There was no sightline until he leaned out. He could not fire from this position. All 6 would taste lead. He'd have to man up and lean out before his foes could feel his retribution. Try as he might, his enemy was dug in deeper than an Alabama tick. Sheriffs came cheap and died young in this territory. The Gunstringer reckoned this one had outlived his welcome tenfold. Peeking out would give him a line at the gutless cowards. The train was about to make its last and final stop at the bottom of Dry Hump Canyon. The oil baron would have to wait. Bad news travels on fast horses. The Gunstringer smiled at the thought of the oil baron, bowed and bogged with grief at the loss of his most prized possession. He leapt like a grasshopper to the other side. The Gunstringer covered the gap with ease. The oil baron pinched his pennies where he could, refusing to buy brakes for any of his trains, calling them namby-pamby-fockles, weak and gutless. But he changed his tune quick enough for the Gunstringer's approach, offering vast rewards to any who could stop the vengeful warrior. His enemy was safely ensconced on the other side of the cover. His enemy was too well hid from this position. His shooting streak came to a halt. whole nest. Surviving the West meant knowing the time to cut and run. He was very nearly buzzed. He leapt like a jackrabbit to the other side. The salsa picante surged through his bones. He ran like a scalded hen past the fallen rocks. He had 6 targets spotted. The Gunstringer hit the bottom of the cliff with the grace of a sack of rocks. The ground kicked like a mule, but the Gunstringer was undaunted. Nothing would stop him from finding the Baron. The whole gang had conspired towards the Gunstringer's demise, but it was the oil baron who first pulled the trigger, taking a coward shot at the Gunstringer's back. He was a master hand at his craft, hitting all 6 targets. A gunshot, lightning, the striking of a match, even the popping of bubble wrap for amusement or to alleviate stress was all it took to set off a stampede. Over 700 tons of horn and hoof, ready to eliminate anything in its path. It was hate and the absence of remorse, wrapped in a crunchy shell. shooting streak ground to a halt. The force of the blast shook him to his core. Statue argued hotly he was closing in on his former companion. The Gunstringer felt a hatred for the man as big and wide as the Texas Panhandle. A hatred he wanted to wipe away with gunpowder and smoke. Gunstringer winced in pain. Clipped 6 targets with ease. The Gunstringer galloped forward, the ringing shots of his revolver a crescendo over the thundering hooves. It was not the first or the last time he'd ride the stallion towards certain death. Missed. He sprung to the other side like a wildcat. Watch out! He jumped to the other side with the power and speed of a wild Mustang.
Let's get him, boy.
Even at full gallop, the pursuit weren't quitting. was time to fight from a higher vantage. The desperados caught wise to his plan, and the driver would pay the price. Once more, the dark powers infused the Gunstringer. All 6 targets at once. His shooting streak had disappeared. Longhorns are pestiferous animals. This was no exception. It put an end to his merry scramble. The sneaking oil buzzard perched his rotund figure atop the well from which he drained the land dry like a tick on a suckling pig. The Gunstringer looked up, cold resolve on his face. He'd run plumb into everything the oil baron could throw at him. Nothing would stop him from getting his comebackance now. Where he walked, death walked with him. Where he walked, death walked. A chill spread across the desert as the Gunstringer and the oil baron stared each other down. It was a battle of strength versus speed. The massive power of the oil baron pitted against the lightning quick draw and deadly aim of the Gunstringer. What followed was a deadly ballad of destruction. Hate distilled into its most terrible, beautiful form. stunned, the Gunstringer cocked back his fists and prepared to unleash his fury. The oil baron had taken a beating, but the reinforced steel would not bend lightly. It was then that the Gunstringer called upon a strength greater than his own. The charity calendar promised an elegant and respectful portrayal of the smartest, classiest women on the western frontier who offered companionship in exchange for money. Many men had fallen sway to the brothel madam's influence, but the Gunstringer only saw her part in his betrayal. There would be no charming moments in the retribution headed her way. The Gunstringer saw the gaps ahead and prayed he'd make each one in turn. With the bayou filled only with outlaws, cheats, and ne'er-do-wells, the brothel madam imported a different folk for her private guard. The lumberjacks were well accustomed to blades and saws and fiercely protective of their rights to fell nature where they pleased, covering a 50-square-mile border past which the madam awaited. Those who consumed El Taco Diablo would be unstoppable in battle, but at what cost? The streak had ended. It was time to start fresh. He shot all 6 targets with ease. This here called for a Tejas-sized inferno. His enemy found its mark. The screams of the dying faded to a distant murmur, for ringing in his ears was only the crunch of the Taco Diablo. A gunfighter can do no better than to shoot 6 targets at once. He leapt nimble-like to the other side like a goat. Streaks made tossing lead fun, but the Gunstringer had to keep his eye on the prize. The phrase rough terrain took on new meaning as the Gunstringer shook the cobwebs from his head. He'd carried the fight to the center of that logging camp, but abominations and stranger tales lay ahead. To get answers on the brothel madam's location, the gunstringer would have to find the head of the crew and knock him about till he felt like cooperating. He reached the other side without difficulty. Something strange was afoot, though the gunstringer could not name exactly what. He leapt like a grasshopper to the other side. Land's sake! Gunstringer misjudged this. The gunstringer covered the gap with ease. Side of the crew chief, the gunstringer paused, flooded with memories and horrors long suppressed. He'd always scrapped more than an ornery badger, and that day had been no different. He went to the camp looking for a fight, not expecting the atrocities he'd never unsee. The gunstringer became a frenzy of death. None would stand in the path of his vengeance. Mano a mano, the only way to truly settle the score.
I've been really thinking lately about the way things used to be. Back when we were young and foolish, baby, and the whole world belonged to just you and me. There's something between us I can't quite put my finger on.
A lumberjack's life is a hard one, given to long days and lonely nights. Even so, the terrible union he witnessed that night took the fight out of him and left only night terrors and permanent scars. Now here was their spawn, The power of a lumberjack, the toughness of a gator, and ugliness borrowed in equal parts from both. Even as the Gunstringer prepared to deliver a final blow, he saw the truth of it. There was no hint of fear in that creature's eyes, only determination. No matter its origins, it had showed grit, and in that was worthy of respect. As they made their way to the riverboat at the head of the armada, the duo of man and half-man, half-alligator sailed across the water with a grace and speed that made Moses crossing the Red Sea look like a two-bit procession. With the wrath of the Gunstringer, they offered him a gift of sustenance and vigor. The phrase rough terrain took on new meaning as the Gunstringer shook the cobwebs from his head. Riverboats were drawn to the brothel, madam, like flies to honey. The Gunstringer knew if he stowed aboard, it'd ride straight to it. Bones rattled from the force of the impact. roughneck was scheming to brawl, the gunstringer was happy to oblige. Step aside in time. His enemy's defensive position afforded him protection from the Gunstringer's 6 guns. Try as he might, he could not fire upon his enemy from his present vantage point. Blast of shrapnel and heat tore through. Gunstringer couldn't shoot until he peeked out of cover. The Gunstringer pressed onward. There were bullets aplenty, and the harvest had come. Mardi Gras was in full swing. Heaven help the man who got between a Dixieland band and their gratuities. They didn't call themselves the St. Louis Stompers for nothing.
Let's get out of here!
The day the gang turned on the Gunstringer, the madam had stolen his gun away during a buxom embrace, leaving the oil baron open to take his shot without consequence. Her act had been no less cowardly, and one that would be punished equally in full. Gripping the flamethrower in his hands, the Gunstringer knew this would be a weapon of great clarity. The Gunstringer was wounded, but would survive. Put a bullet into all 6 of his targets. His streak was gone to the wind. He leapt like a jackrabbit to the other side. If there was one thing Andrew Jackson loved, it was a scrap. Old Hickory fought in the American Revolution, defeated Tecumseh at the Battle of Horseshoe Bend, beat back the British in the War of 1812, won the Seminole War, and fought in 13 duels. One of them just for being falsely accused of passing gas. Whatever demonic force possessed his statue that day, the screeching of iron reverberated throughout the French Quarter and set everyone there on notice that an unnatural vengeance was upon him. It was a man's hand, yet dainty and soft, like that of a banker or card sharp.
Toodaloo, y'all.
whispers from El Taco Diablo, but the Gunstringer's focus never wavered. Gunstringer would have to lean out to get a clear shot at his enemy. He'd have to lean out to bushwhack him proper. All 6 of his targets stopped lead. Madam's tower was an aesthetically arresting pedestal, an ode to passion, and an audacious bedroom fortress, trapped inside a fever dream of femininity. The Gunstringer steeled himself for the wild-eyed, bawdy onslaught to come. Brothel Madam was a quarrelsome, temperish woman who fought the passage of time and the toll of gravity like a lassoed wildcat. She wore enough face paint to send half the Comanches in Texas on the warpath, and had a top shelf you could lay a Stetson on. But no amount of foppery could conceal her deceitful core, and the Gunstringer made ready to address her true self with the language of gunpowder and steel.
Marvelous!
Thank you for the opportunity.
Brothel Madam was weakened, and the time had come to strike.
Make it rain! Get on stage now! Make it rain! My beauties!
horse, now alone. Would they ever ride together again? It was his chance, and the Gunstringer responded with a flurry of bullets.
Unseen!
When the gang first formed, they took on a young samurai on the condition that he had firearms to his bladed arsenal. And thus did the Beardmaster join in their mission of monetary reallocation. His subsequent betrayal of the Gunstringer, however, was not an issue that would be so easily adjudicated. Sprung to the other side like a wildcat. He was very nearly buzzard food. Six targets, 6... Look out! The creatures fell to the ground like hailstones. The law of the West was a harsh one. An eye for an eye, like in the olden times. There was justice to be done that day, and he was the man for it. Every chamber had a destination. The boulders came at him faster than green grass through a goose. jumped to the other side with the power and speed of a wild Mustang. He made sure 6 more would meet their maker. Another taco was soon to make its way down his gullet. Alas, the streak was not to continue. A great wall loomed in the distance. The Beardmaster had done up his own fortress on the eastern frontier. Place for brute force. This was one of them. The impact rocked the Gunstringer, but his will was untarnished. With 6 targets lined up, it was time to fire. It was time to spray lead. The Beardmaster's dojo lay somewhere beyond the Great Wall that protected it from thieves and Comanche raiders. If he could not get around it, he would have to find a way over it. The stone bulwark was an affront to any who loved the freedom of the unadorned open range. But the Beardmaster was right to live in fear. One day his ill-gotten gains would require payment in By the time the boulder got there, he was gone like yesterday's wind. He leapt nimble-like to the other side like a goat. 6 shots of lead would now make their mark. He reached the other side without difficulty.
This time.
There was no sightline until he leaned out. Gunstringer breathed in sharply as he was gored to the bone. Guts, the Texas kind. It's how the West was born. The story continued, with the Gunstringer's resolve unchanged. He would exact his bloody revenge. The riot of brilliant colors and intriguing shapes wafted towards him on a heavenly breeze, intent on his destruction. Death at the hands of the samurai, dodged having his hair peeled by Comanches, and survived being flung through the air with a rocket strapped to his back. But the real fight had just begun. Surrounded a lavish Zen garden, a recreated paradise from the samurai's homeland. The Asian fineries were lost on the Gunstringer, who preferred a bedroll and campfire to all this foolish get-up. Lord Harry, that was close. If that don't put a knot in your tail. He was stuck in a jackpot now. Bruised and battered, he couldn't take much bamboo, the Chinese symbol for long life. Just so long as you don't end up getting skewered by one through your barrel chute. The constant stress of riding the Vengeance Trail can have ill effects on one's health, contributing to heart attack, stroke, and emotional overeating. The sweet smell of jasmine and the sound of birds singing relieved his muscle tension, as his subconscious mind saw oceans instead of gravel, islands instead of rocks, and the Beard Master's flaming, bullet-ridden corpse in every tree. He leapt like a grasshopper to the other side. Tarnation! Mortals were terrified of the Devil's Taco. The Gunstringer embraced the Peligroso power. Gunstringer used to fear heights, or at least it could be said that they avoided each other's company. Something though about reanimating and then facing down death a dozen times over had taken the edge off his old lame task. Besides that, he was a stubborn, ornery feller, not taking kindly to be told what to do, even by his own mind. through the grip, the Gunstringer landed at last in the inner sanctum, the peaceful surroundings standing counterpoint to the violence that was soon to come. The cold steel felt at home in the Gunstringer's grip. Beardmaster had often performed the impossible, trimming a hummingbird's eyelashes with a wave of his sword, or bending 60-penny spikes like you'd fold a newspaper. The Gunstringer's only equalizer was his six-shooter, but he'd have to endure a mighty beating just to get his shots in. The Gunstringer found the Beardmaster in his private sanctuary, where the Buddhist master had spent the last year and a half meditating without interruption in an attempt to merge his consciousness with the rainbow. His holiness of unsurpassable blessings was about to let loose with a fistful of infinite wisdom, as he called it, all over the Gunstringer's face. He readied himself for the imbroglio. The Beardmaster was vowed, but it would take a greater force to finish the job. At last, the time had come to deliver the final blows. The Lady of the Dead would be the last target and the hardest to find. She roamed the shadowy paths between life and the beyond, and to track her, he searched the towns along the blurred border. Her betrayal had hurt the most, and for that, he would make her pay. He stumbled forward, dazed by the collision. Gunstringer misjudged his stride and fell short. Gunstringer came down but felt nothing but air beneath him. He was very nearly buzzard food. Gunstringer tried to shoulder his way past, but could not. Missed. That don't put a knot in your tail. His first death was at the hands of his betrayers. Was this one of his own doing? The Lady of the Dead would be the last target and the hardest to find. She roamed the shadowy paths between life and the beyond, and to track her, he searched the towns along the blurred border. Her betrayal had hurt the most, and for that, he would make her pay. And his steps grew quick. There would be no escape from his draw. The Gunstringer covered the gap with ease. Once a place of refreshment and the occasional awkward group bath, had turned to dust, littered with the bones of those who had counted on it being there for their survival. only to be left high and dry. Was unique. It is said that when hell is full, the dead will walk the earth. Is that how these specters came to be here? Is that how the Gunstringer came to be here? He had no doubt the devil would make room for him on his return. He'd have to man up and lean out before his foes could feel his retribution. The salsa picante surged through his bones. Some ancient deviltry was afoot, and he'd bet his last cigarillo that the Lady of the Dead was behind it. The land grew stranger, and the lines between life and afterlife grew hazy in the burning sun. He'd found the path he sought, but from here on, there would be no turning back. these hallucinations? Figments of the mind brought on by fever and heat? It was best to shoot 'em all. Madness or not, the Gunstringer wasn't one for taking chances. He was a master hand at his craft, hitting all 6 targets. He clipped 6 targets with ease. That streak behind him, he had to press on. The Gunstringer gripped the steel and bade all enemies to come forth and face his wrath. Didn't get cover soon, things would be over faster than a knife fight in an outhouse. All 6 targets at once. He shot all 6 targets with ease. Gunstringer traded precision for raw power. Throughout his youth, the Gunstringer had been too busy learning to ride, rope, curse, brand, and fan a gun at high speeds to get mooning over women. He'd made only one exception. If he was hurt bad, the Gunstringer refused to show him. The spirits closed in, hungering desperately for the extra life force now contained within him. The Gunstringer remembered only patches of the time he'd spent wandering the afterlife before he'd reasserted himself on the mortal plane. He came back for vengeance, and his soul would not quiet till justice was served. His mortal form returned. Each of his steps now felt uncertain. There were strange magics in this place. The souls of the dead were jealous of any life. Even the small glimmer found in the reanimated bones of the Gunstringer. Easy now. Once more, the dark powers infused the Gunstringer. gunfighter can do no better than to shoot 6 targets at once. Desperately, they pulled at his soul, hoping to take his place in the mortal realm. To which time his enemies knew the power of the cleansing fire. Was near. The Gunstringer was sure of that. But these were her lands, and nothing here seemed for certain. Burned in the Gunstringer's memory was the Lady of the Dead's gloating laughter as she stood over his grave. Spurned and jealous, she'd turned the others against him, plotted his early exit from the mortal realm. There wasn't a horror in this place that would stop him from exacting his revenge. He was stuck in a jackpot now. Touche! Gunstringer misjudged his stride and fell short. Gunstringer came down but felt nothing but air beneath him. Consumed at many a time where the Lady of the Dead tried to decapitate him after a lover's quarrel. It's what kept their relationship fresh and exciting for a time. Apparently, she had moved on. Her streak was over. There was a sight rarely seen, at least outside of the dubious dens of the purveyors of otherworldly experiences. Gunstringer suddenly recalled his father's dying words to him. Never talk out loud to your hat in public. Never let a coyote represent you in court. And most of all, never ever mess around with a voodoo priestess. For once, he had to admit the old man had a point.
Embelesada.
The Gunstringer leapt in and struck the Dark Queen with a flurry of blows. Was this really where the vengeance trail ended? The Gunstringer felt the choice was no longer his to make. It would take more than bullets and fists to bow the voodoo queen. Her time had come, and it was the Gunstringer who was the true master of death. Gunstringer felt jubilation at the thought of his old posse sitting on ice at Formaldehyde Smith's funeral home. But what now? He had not counted on outliving his former companions. Was he destined to ride the trail forever? Or did fate have one last hand to play before it cashed in his chips for good?
day, everything you were is more and more forgotten. What they used to say may still ring true, but now your heart is rotten. Don't deny the invitation for one more chance. Don't deny your enemies their one last dance. Grasp the cold grip of your gun. No one lives to tell the tale. They paid the price unknown to them. They were for sale. The vengeance trail is miles wide. Each step feels like 2 or 3 strings of fate. Pull you there, nowhere to hide. Memories serve as your only guide. Retribution swiftly comes tonight. This cowboy's last ride. One by one, like falling stars, their light put out, not burning. Play by play, the story ends, but now your soul is yearning. Don't deny the whole is greater than the sum, and don't deny that you can change what you've become. Trusty Steve stands by your side, never stops to question you or hesitate. The only friend that's still alive. No matter what they try to say, truth is covered up, disguise, talk is cheap. Heart skips a beat, staring their eyes. Back and forth motions will turn the tide. Absolution nowhere inside. This cowboy's last Now that you've gone and chosen a side, true redemption quietly passes by. On this cowboy's